Excited about this movie. I'm Nigerian, so it was very cool to see two Nigerians had a like kind of a supernatural type vibe. So for you guys, obviously it's Halloween, and this is kind of a part of the whole horror renaissance that's kind of happening right now with different types of horror stories. But what are your guys' favorite classic kind of scary movies that you guys return to?
For me, the classic, because I don't watch horror on, so a classic for me is something. It will be my first, which would be Get Out.
Mhm.
That would be that's the first horror film that I'd watch from beginning to end, and I loved it. So yeah,
Does Alien count as a horror film?
I feel like it's
It's
sort of
definitely sci-fi, right? It's
yeah.
totally undoubtedly sci-fi. So maybe it falls only into that genre. But I think like, things busting out of people's chests and eating people whole is kind of scary. So
that sounds scary to
but
me.
but yeah, but like Wunmi, I don't have a great history of horror films that I can draw from. So I'm gonna go with the one that scared me the most recently, which was still over 10 years ago, but that would be Paranormal Activity.
Oh yeah, that one was kind of creepy. But
Hmm.
I feel like that's funny because both of you are so like kind of averse to the paranormal that you guys are a part of this. What attracted you both to this project?
I would say the heart of the project, the heart of the story, the message of the story. I mean, I was so moved by the end of the script when reading it, just knowing that there were people out there with such trauma and pain, and they are able that they're so brave to take those journeys across lands and oceans. They are literally risking their life in order to get to safety, and to see people living with that like so vividly on the screen, it just really moved me. And I had never been so scared whilst reading a script, scared because of the horror, scared because of the real horror, scared because of the truth, and scared because you know it, we rely on humanity to be humane, and we're so often not. And so I really found the whole thing so rich and deep and layered. I loved it.
I suppose the layering that Wumi was talking about really attracted me to the piece. The fact that it could be read as a straight horror with the monster, or if you remove the monster entirely, you still have a story that is equally as powerful in terms of what's the psychological
Mm.
trauma of making a crossing or fleeing your home in order to find a better life, how that affects people. And I think it's a wonderful exploration of both of those things, as well as it being a scary, thrilling, entertaining horror film.
Yeah, the scary parts of real life and the scary parts we don't really consider real. But I also found something very interesting was the luxury of being able to escape was kind of touched on in this. And within this pandemic, I feel like we've kind of seen that a lot where people were able to escape to their vacation homes and stuff. Did you guys have any conversations about how like kind of relevant that aspect of the movie is?
Well, it was interesting. A friend of mine said that he was particularly looking forward to this film because it was a haunted house film in which there was a legitimate reason that people couldn't leave. Um,
Mm.
and I'm sure the viewers will see what that reason is. But also, I hadn't thought about it until you just asked the question now, but that claustrophobia being trapped is now like experienced across the world because we've all been locked in our houses because of the lockdown for like 4 months. And who knows if we're going into a second one, depending on where your geographical region is. So being watching a haunted house film where they can't leave in your house where you can't leave, I can't imagine what the effect of that would be. But I still encourage people to watch the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also just acknowledging if you're able to watch a scary film and feel scared in the safety of your own home. There are people who actually don't have that luxury even
Mm-hmm.
here in the US and the UK. Home isn't always safe, and um and I think that's touched upon in the film, but in real life that could be you know, poverty, it could be, you know, violence, it could be so many things. And I think, yeah, I do think that that's an important thing to kind of recognize, that some people we aren't all living in, you know, we don't have the luxury to escape right now, but some people aren't even in a safe home. And just like Ball and Real, like, then it's not always, home isn't always safety.
Definitely. Thank you so much for talking to me today, guys. I'm so excited for everyone to see the film, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Hi, it's so nice to talk to you today. This is such a fresh story, and I'm really excited it's going to be part of the whole Halloween catalog this year. I wanted to know, what are your favorite classic holiday movies around this time? And I just wanted to know what you kind of drew inspiration from in the supernatural sort of sense.
Holiday being Halloween.
Oh, yeah, I don't know why I referenced like Christmas.
I guess, I mean, I love horror movies. I think the ones closely linked to this for me would probably be like haunted house movies. I really liked The Innocent, The Others, The Shining, House on Haunted Hill, Haunting on Hill House.
Oh yeah, that one's so good. It's your Netflix brethren, I guess. But
Netflix crew.
Yeah, exactly. What was so special about this movie to me was you know, the real life horrors and then also the supernatural ones. So there could be different takeaways for different audiences. Why do you find that to be kind of a unique aspect? And do you hope that, what's your main takeaway that you hope audiences gather from this?
I hope empathy. I wanted to tell really straight, I guess, maybe not straightforward, but a very simple story about two people and their emotional journey. I know when like something like this, there's usually quite big political or social opinions, and I kind of wanted to leave that to, I guess, the corners of the frame and just focus on the people and their story.
Like, I also noticed a lot of it was about kind of the luxury of being able to escape, if that makes sense, or being able to find another place to go. And especially now where people are able to just go to their vacation homes to avoid the real horrors of like the pandemic, it's like super relevant. Did you guys have any conversations around that, or was that something that any of you all noticed?
No, not necessarily. I think more in the UK, the thing that I find fascinating is that our culture is very polite. We're very like, we don't like to talk about like uncomfortable things, and especially with some characters like Mark, it's very much like he will never overtly say anything that is oppressive, but he won't dance around certain things, and that's a very British thing.
And what was the most exciting film or part of the film for you to shoot? Yeah.
I really, really enjoy whenever we're shooting two characters talking. Ṣọpẹ and Wunmi, the two actors, I love shooting them. Like whenever they're together, it's always an exciting day on set. And also with Man and Ṣọpẹ together, like that's always an exciting day on set. So I'd say those moments.
It's lucky because there's a lot. So thank you so much for talking to me today. I'm so excited for everyone to see this film, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too.